The International Youth Day is observed annually on 12th August. It highlights the opportunity for government and including the international community to draw attention to youth issues worldwide. During International Youth Day, concerts, workshops, cultural events, and meetings involving national and local government officials and youth organizations take center stage in commemoration of this day. International Youth Day was a day set aside by the United Nations in 1999 with the adoption of Resolution 54/120, and the first International Youth Day was observed on 12th August, year 2000. Many young people in Sierra Leone are not aware of the significance of the day. Some youth in black streets around the Brookfields community said they lacked the basic facilities like food, shelter, and clothing. This was how they expressed frustration given the challenging circumstances they find themselves. Some young people, however, acknowledged the reality of the International Youth Day, but noted less interest on the significance of the day.
National Youth Commission didn't create more things the way young people are aware about this day, because this day now we only global level they celebrate. But we in Sierra Leone, it's seldom to be a problem because now we make up the majority. We the colonists at least they will make we celebrate nationwide. One side it will be more difficult
for Sierra Leoneans, especially when the government is putting too much of emphasis in terms of youth empowerment. I will urge the Sierra Leonean government and international partners to engage more in capacity building and livelihood, rural empowerment of ladies, and especially promoting National Youth Services Scheme and urgent attention and implementation.
The Minister of Youth Affairs, Mohamed Bangura, noted that when he was appointed as Youth Minister, his passion is to help create job opportunities for youth with a view of reducing economic hardship on them, but noted that the youth as well need to be ready and take up the mantle of leadership. With lined-up projects like the National Youth Farm in Massalia in Mashaka, the Youth Village in Kabbalah, Youth in Fisheries Program, Youth in Drainage Cleaning, and the National Youth Service, among several others, are some of the intervention strategies in mitigating the impact of economic hardship on young people. Mahmoud further stated that the youth are of the fantastic potentials required for the sustenance of the country's development, but he said we can only tap into those potentials as a country when the people and government ensure effective coordination and collaboration while implementing projects geared towards elevating the status of youth. Ibrahim Prince Tol is the chairman for National Youth Council. On his recommendations, he said that the youth are the dynamo of the society and young people should make a difference in the civic life of their various communities and developing the combination of knowledge, skills, values in the society, and government and its partners must promote the life of young people through gainful engagement.
We as young people, it is an opportunity for us to come together again, to talk to policymakers, our intentions, our abilities to feed this nation and to rid it of poverty. We have the energy, as I used to say. We are the dynamo of this society. It is in that light that we want to encourage all young people of this country to stick to their dreams and make it happen.
The Executive Director for Life by Design, Joe Abbas Bangura, reiterated that young people need to take responsibility for their positive future and stop the blame game, but urged government and donor partners to create the enabling environment with capacity building, education, and innovation labs all across the country.
Encouraging youth, that's why I love the theme for this year, which is engaging young people for entrepreneurship and agribusiness. To end poverty, that's the way you do it.
It could be recalled that in the African Union Banjul Plus 10 Summit, the African Youth Charter celebration made this year, Commissioner Marshal De Paul Ikunga of the African Union Division of Human Resources, Science and Technology remarked that it takes commitment and courage to tackle problems currently faced by young people. He noted that youth must be more demanding in their request to realize the rights accorded to them. He encouraged member states to uphold Decision 571, which stated that member states should define progressive actions for the 2017 and beyond starting now. According to Dr. Abdullahi Dumbuya, the Chief Executive Officer for Dorothy Springer Trust, he said that MDAs and the international community must continue to work together to expand the horizons of opportunity for young women and men and answer their legitimate demands for dignity, development, and decent work. And that until now, PWDs are still faced with many social, environmental, and institutional challenges. It is difficult to access transportation, learning institutions, other facilities like their counterparts in other countries.
As somebody who's been disabled from the age of 5, who worked hard through education to get to myself to the level where I am with independence, I see no other way other than through education. Young people with disabilities needs to be educated, and it's not just all formal education. You need to be aware of the world that you live in. You need to be able to have knowledge. You need to be able to invest in acquiring knowledge so that at the end of the day you are well empowered to live an independent and powerful life in your community. That's my message, that youth needs to invest time and money in their education.
On her part, Mrs. Fatima Bio, a humanitarian and philanthropist, said that teenage girls need quality education and have an holistic development. As for most times when people talk about youth, they left out the female youth and pay so much attention on the male youth. Noting that the 11 years civil war and the Ebola epidemic exposed the girl child to more vulnerability than their boy counterparts, and that the first line of education comes from the mother. So if the first line is not properly educated, then what education does the child get?
I think there's a lot of things that we need to do for the young girls in Sierra Leone. I think the education has to be more revamped, and the young girls need to understand. They need to understand the process of being a teenager to being an adult. And I don't know how to put it, because when I talk about the way girls should live in Sierra Leone, people think, okay, you're talking as a Western woman. But I believe a child should be allowed to be a child, while a woman then be a woman.
She also stated that her advocacy always will bring to voices of key players as one in relation to girl-child education. The Commission and National Youth Commission, Anthony Kouma, said that youth defined in Sierra Leone as people aged 15 to 35 account for approximately 1/3 of the national population, and there has been effective effort focused on promoting youth empowerment and leadership through the strengthening of chiefdom and district youth council, assisting youth in their transition from school to work through the provision of employment promotion services such as the internship opportunities and support.
Normally with the leadership of the ministry responsible for youth affairs, we have been working with partners, the UN country team, youth serving agencies, other international partners, the youth themselves through their various councils and youth organizations to ensure that youth issues are highlighted and discussed, as it creates a platform globally for this day for young people to talk about their aspirations, talk about their challenges, and to explore opportunities, including looking at private sector opportunities. So the message this year, based on the theme, the global theme this year is eradicating poverty by achieving sustainable consumption and production by 2030. This is aligned with the Sustainable Development Goals 2030 target. But in Sierra Leone, on the basis of the recommendations of the technical committee chaired by the Ministry of Youth Affairs, we've adopted the theme of engaging youth in entrepreneurship and agri-business for poverty reduction. This is based on the fact that, and this is the message we have for this year, that young people should now stop looking out for jobs that are not there but to be able to use the private sector facilities and opportunities in setting up small businesses in the informal, in the formal sector, as well as in the agriculture sector.
Amadou Lamaran, a journalist and the president for Sierra Leone Reporters Union, noted that young people in the media landscape are increasing every day, but requests for more frequent trainings in different reporting skills for them, and also appealed that they domesticate the celebration nationwide.
My only concern on the commemoration of International Youth Day is that most times it is politicized, you know. Most times, either the youth ministry or other youth serving agencies will call a workshop or a talk shop and have politicians make statements without, you know, agreeing on what they want to see or what they want to implement in the coming years. And I think if I should suggest on what I want to see on the commemoration of this day is you know, an event where young people, especially those in the ghettos, those that are not well represented at some level, are given the opportunity to explain their problems, how they want to change their lives, and agree on a point that next year when we commemorate International Youth Day, these are some of the things we should have we must achieve as a country, as young people.
Retired Brigadier Julius Mada Bio, the 2012 presidential candidate and present aspiring flag-bearer candidate for the main opposition party, the Sierra Leone People's Party, SLPP, said that he is committed to the advancement of youth even if he assumed the presidency come the next election. Investment in young people will pay great dividends in a better future for all. He therefore emphasized to the youth that they should strive to be educated, stay away from violence, and use every opportunity given to them to grow and must be judiciously utilized.
I believe absolutely that nobody is prepared to take on the development of any nation without adequate education. I talk about adequate education because I think that quality education is the basis, is needed by everybody to be able to do personal and national development. The youths of today should be able to have the quality of education necessary to equip them with the knowledge and skills to be able to take over society. So it is my ardent belief that it is our responsibility to make sure that we give them the wherewithal, and education is paramount. And when I talk about education, I'm not just sticking to the academic aspect of education. I'm also talking about the technical and vocational, and where necessary, we should make sure that there's universal education for everybody, so that at least we have a society that is literate to a certain extent.
Retired Brigadier Julius Mada Bio concluded by calling on MDs and donor partners to mainstream youth policies in every aspect of their daily operations. According to many experts, the young people are the future of the nation, with 1/3 of the country's population are in the age bracket of 15 to 35, and we should now take the mantle of leadership as we are partners in development. Reporting for Star TV, I am Mohamed Basiru Sanusi in Freetown.